Welcome back for one last time at the first YCS of the season. That means the first YCS after the World Championship that took place just a few weeks ago in Kyoto.
Yep.
And here we are in Rimini, Italy. Beautiful, beautiful Italy. And it's been an amazing event. We've got 1,099 players showing up who have to play 8 rounds of Swiss today, 3 more rounds of Swiss tomorrow. Then we're going to perform a cut, and then it's just a couple more rounds, like 4 or 5 with the top 32. I think 5 more rounds. My name is Oliver Gurman. I'm your host for the weekend, and I'm joined by Luke Withington.
Hey, Ollie. We're in the last round.
That means casual round 8. Yes, and in fact, some of you have been wondering. It was casual round 8, casual day basically for me because my shoes are a little bit different, but fortunately nobody saw that on the stream, so we are 100% professional as always. That's our very own cosplay of One Piece characters, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just choosing to kind of put my tie away already. You know, just loosen up.
Yeah, loosen up. It's a good thing because it's way too hot for a suit, to be honest.
It is, yeah. If I'd have been wearing flip-flops all day.
Yeah. All right. What do we have in store for you for the last round? It is one of the so-called bubble matches. That means you win, you're in. You're going to make it to day 2. You lose, you're out. You're going home or, well, to the beach, which is probably better than home.
Yep.
We got on the one side of the field, we got Matej Jakob. He's the Slovenian national champion. We have seen him at the European Championship.
Yeah.
Where we interviewed all of the national champions. That was quite something.
Yeah, yeah. We were like, oh, we're struggling to find people to interview. Let's just make an announcement.
Yeah,
if you're a national champion, just come on.
Yeah, we expected like 5 or 6 to show up, and then suddenly there were like
12.
12?
I think it was like 12 people. We'd already interviewed a few already, and then like 12 more guys just showed up.
Right.
So, yeah.
And for the rest of the day, Matt was entertaining them. Thanks again to Matt for that.
Yeah.
Telling them all about the insights of like R&D, how they come up with the forbidden and limited lists, why it is so hard, because half the time they are working with cards that haven't even been published at the point in time that they have
like
to create the list.
Planning ahead.
Yeah, and all the questions, the hard-hitting questions, so to speak, that were on the minds of these national champions, Matt was like answering them, so that was definitely fun.
Yeah.
All right, on the other side of the table, we got Deluchshan, Kridaran, and that's the trick with those Indian-sounding names. You just have to speak them really quickly, and then you cannot mess them up, at least not too much. But he's in fact from Switzerland, even though the name might suggest something else. And we got, again, quite some interesting decks here. Matej is playing Qliphort. I think he did play that at the European Championship as well.
Yes, I think so. I think he was one of the ones that were spotting it in the little national championship meeting that we had. He was saying, oh, Qliphort's.
Right. And Deluchshan is playing Nekroz together with the Clowns.
Yes.
All right. With that, let's take you to the table where these guys are ready to get their game on. They have shuffled up. And for one last time, everybody's super energized in here. Everybody's like, yes, this is the last round. For the day after that, there's going to be steak. Or, of course, pizza.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see Matej on the left.
It's ice cream time after this.
Yeah, and Deluchshan, Kridaran on the right. Okay, we can see half of the cards in Deluchshan's hand on our special bird's eye view. He has 4 ritual monsters. That's some information that I can give you guys.
Yeah, so let's take a look. So this Qliphort build here is not the Towers Turbo build that people have been talking about. He's playing the standard kind of Qliphort setup with a quarter of his deck being trap cards. Some interesting trap cards, actually, but we'll talk a little bit about those in a second. His side deck is fairly basic. It does have towers in, so he has the 3rd copy of Wavering Eyes, too, if he wants to jump into that build.
All right. Matej kicks things off with a Pot of Duality, finding a Summoner's Art, immediately activating the Summoner's Art, immediately getting a Scout.
Yeah.
All of that.
Looks like he's ready for steak as well, by the looks of it.
He's also like, I want to hit the beach. Let's get this done.
Yeah.
And 2 copies of Black Horn of Heaven in his opening hand. Is that?
Yeah, that's actually the interesting trump cards I wanted to talk about. So yeah, 2 copies of Black Horn of Heaven, which are not that great against the Nekroz engine, but quite good against the Exceed summons.
Right.
So yeah, we just gotta look forward to seeing whether these Black Horn of Heaven can actually make a big difference in this matchup.
All right, so there we go. 4 face downs for Matej Jakob with just 1 card on the field. That is the Qliphort carrier. Well, 1 monster on the field.
Yeah, so very basic setup here.
And then it is up to Deluchshan, Kridaran.
Yeah, so the Matej commits everything to the field. That's to stop him being Trishulad. But yeah, so we see here. I can't pronounce his name, Ollie. You're gonna have to help me out.
Deluchshan, Kridaran.
Deluchshan. Okay, Deluchshan's opening hand here is a lot of blue monsters.
Yeah, but that's gonna change. He's trading 1 blue card for a green card.
Yeah, that's how Nekroz work. You just trade up into these multicolored cards, a rainbow of fantastic ritual summoning, as you cast your ritual summons across the sky. I don't know where I was going with that one, but I gave it a go. You got to do it. It's round 8. You know what I mean? So here we see.
Yes, now or never.
Yeah, now or never, exactly. Day 2 is serious time. That's how I see it anyway. So we see both the big searches for the Nekroz deck here, so the Bryanak and Klausulus coming out straight away.
Yeah, and this time, fortunately, no Dark Law that is going to foil that plan.
Yeah, we're going to get to see the full power of both these decks just run wild. So if we look at Matej Jakob's field here, he doesn't have much going on as far as the like actual back rows that would stop the Nekroz plays.
All right, and that sounds interesting because normally you come prepared for this one deck. This is the one deck with a target on its head.
Yeah, I just think that the Black Horn of Heaven was I don't know what Black Horn of Heaven is for. It's getting late in the day. So we'll see what the response is to this Nekroz Kaleidoscope.
Yeah,
He does have Recreate.
Which is a little bit like a skill drain, very special sort of
like
skill drain.
A pseudo skill drain.
Yeah, for this particular deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it plays to all the advantages that your deck does.
And it seems like we have clicked at the wrong flag when we were selecting the one for Matej, but we're gonna try and get that corrected.
Yeah. So here we go. So immediately Unicorn is summoned here using the basic method with Nekroz Kaleidoscope, sending Herald of the Arclight from the extra deck to the graveyard, which immediately allows him to go search his deck for a ritual card. So he's going to go search for another Bryanak. He's already used a Bryanak this turn, so yeah, don't know why he's going to go search for that. Maybe his plays are quite limited.
Yeah, either that or he's already setting up for the next turn. But
yep. So there's the damage juggler. So this is what, like this Black Horn of Heaven right now. Black Horn of Heaven's about to just like go in. Is the only way for me to describe it. So yeah, that's an Exciton Knight, but no, it's not.
No, that's supposed to be an Excited Knight.
Yeah, so the Exciton Knight doesn't even exist.
So much for that question, why is anybody playing Black Horn of Heaven?
Yeah.
This is the reason.
Yeah, so yeah, if anyone was wondering why you play Black Horn of Heaven, it's so that you can set 4 backs and not be scared of Exciton Knight, apparently.
Yeah, that was a very interesting opening. And
yeah, so this opens up the possibility for the Nekroz player to be able to banish his mirrors and go and search for some new ones.
yeah.
So let's see where he goes with this. So he does have double Valkyris in hand. Doesn't look like he's going to make another ritual summon this turn, but that's a real shame.
Yeah, well, he's going to search.
Yep. I think he's just.
Let's bring up his hand again.
Yeah. Okay.
The Bryanak, the 2 Valkyros,
Yeah,
decisive arm. It's like a lot of cards that you don't want to draw that early on, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, he's using damage juggler's effect to go get the Trick Clown.
All right. And
Here's the Nekroz mirror.
that's interesting because you said you
There's not-
didn't
well,
expect him to go for another ritual
No,
summon.
I was honestly not expecting Decisive Armor to come out here. But yeah, that's a fair play if he wants to commit to the board here. But he's going to be met with a Recreate.
Right.
So the effect of the Decisive Armor this turn is negated. So it cannot use its effect to banish a set card.
Yeah. And
But it's still very big.
yeah.
It's got
You banish it when it
3,000.
leaves the field, which is not that important.
Yeah, well, it's kind of important against the Nekroz monsters. Just not major factor in it, but it's a little bit more annoying. Just a little bit.
Right. And how are you going to deal with that heavy hitter? What is the Klee deck going to do against it?
So you can get over the Decisive Armor by using a shell with some powered up pendulum scales, or a shell with the equipped spell card.
Yeah. Cly.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
There we go. It's late in the day. It's late in the day.
There's-
Sacrifice.
There's a Klee in there. I know
Yeah.
that much. Yeah.
I knew it was an equipped card. Right. So here we go. So let's see how Matej decides to get out of this situation.
Yeah. He
So
does
he's
have
got a
the
scout search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
We both think of this at the exact same time. Yeah.
It's always the first thing you do when you're playing Klee. It's like, okay, what are my options? Where's my scout?
Yeah.
He does have a carrier in hand, and he's gonna get another Klee card if he only wants to, if he's willing to pay 1,000 life points.
Yeah. So that's another way to deal with Decisive Armor, is to use a Qliphort Carrier, which allows you to, when it's tributed, target one of your opponent's monsters and then return it to their hand.
Mm.
That's one way of temporarily getting rid of it. But the limitation to Nekroz is the ritual spell cards. There's no way to recycle them very easily.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's kind of that's okay to bounce back cards like that, as long as you can deal with all of the, 6 ritual summons. Usually people play 6 of the cards. As long as you can deal with all 6 of those ritual summons, and then the one which is the preparation of rites.
Yeah, we've seen that very often, that people are dealing with 6 ritual summons.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
No problem. Well, when you're getting freebie hits like Black Horn of Heaven, like we just saw, it's very possible.
All right. Okay.
So Matej Jakob here is taking his time to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I think there's another reason for this interruption, to be honest, like a question for the judge or something. I'm not sure.
Possibly.
In any case, the carrier has come down,
Yep.
and that's going to set him up for some pendulum summons if he wants to.
Yep.
But he's first going to go searching.
Yeah, so we're going to see that, and he's probably going to do what I said. He's going to pendulum summon the carrier, and then tribute the carrier for some other monster, and then be able to use its effect to get rid of that Decisive Armor.
Right.
So let's see what he goes for here.
Yeah, and some of you are saying he's not going to go for towers. He's not playing the all-in deck, so to speak, the towers deck. Oh, actually, he's...
He had a set Wavering Eyes.
yes.
So that's actually going to really change things up here.
Yeah.
And actually, he may just win. Possibly.
Yeah, oh, I think that is a difference. Yeah, that's something we should mention.
Yeah, so that's 500 free damage.
So he gets another pendulum monster from his deck and
Scout.
adds it to his hand, which is, of course, another scout, because what else would you go searching for?
Mm-hmm.
And that means another search for him.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out the amount of damage here. So, no, he's probably not going to be able to win here. He can do 62 with a shell attack. Yeah, he can double swing with shell, if that's what he got. I don't know if he got shell. No, stealth, okay. Okay, that's perfect, because he can use stealth to bounce the likes of
decisive
Recreate.
armor. Yep. And
Is he going to use stealth as his other pendulum scale? Oh, no, okay, he already pendulum some
yeah,
monsters, didn't he?
that's done. That's a done deal for the turn. And he sets the Recreate again, hits hard,
Big 2-8.
and Deluchshan
He's try-
Kridaran is dropping down to 5-7.
Yeah, he's trying to decide.
Sorry,
3-7.
4-7, right?
3-7.
I'm saying
4-7?
I'm saying it's 4-7.
Some at 7. Some at 7. 4-7.
4-7
There you
is
go.
correct. Okay, you owe me the first scoop of gelato. All right.
It's a whole 1,000 life points.
Right. So now Matej is of course hoping that this Qliphort scout is going to stay on the field, because the next turn he can just bring out another pendulum monster and then keep pendulum summoning
Yep.
his monsters back to the field. And the big question is Deluchshan playing anything against that? He's got 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon in the main deck, so
Yep.
there is a chance for him to get rid of the scout.
Yeah, he can also play Trishula or make a rank 4 play to get rid of the scout.
Right. But since Matej doesn't have any cards in hand, Trishula is not going to be that helpful.
No, that's correct. But
So
is
he played
not?
around that card.
I thought he added another card to his hand. But yeah, so Trishula
Yeah,
is not going to help. in
that's
this
the
situation.
stealth that he summoned afterwards.
Yeah,
All right, so Trishula is not much help, but let's see what else Deluchshan is going to go for here. He did actually draw into a Mystical Space Typhoon. So
that's good.
our mental experiment here was a little bit for nothing. He did just draw the perfect answer to the scout at least.
Yeah. So here we see the possibility he's going to go get a Unicorn. I believe the Unicorn is probably the best Nekroz card. It just allows you to relive any of your previous Nekroz cards, which is just great. So he's just recycling Unicorn here, and then he's going to banish the Unicorn to go and search a mirror.
Right. And interestingly enough, Deluchshan, no cards on the field, everything is in his hand, whereas on the other side of the field, Matej, everything on the field, no cards
Yeah.
in hand.
Yeah,
Talk about polar opposites.
yeah. Yeah, so but the difference here is Deluchshan has, all of his resources right now are mostly hidden in his hand, whereas Matej is he's just all out on the field. I don't know what he set there. I think did he just set the Trick Clown?
Yes,
so.
he did. He did indeed.
Cool. Okay. So
Suddenly a more even, a more leveled field, so to speak.
yeah.
Both guys now having a couple of cards on the field. Deluchshan still got 2 copies of Valkyros and a Brian Egg in hand. He's constantly having a Brian Egg when he cannot use it. And he's got a Kaleidoscope, Space Typhoon, and the Performage Trick Clown on the field. So now he passes play.
Yeah, so I think Trick Clown's going to be able to just defend him for now. I think that's kind of what he was going to use it for, because as far as I can see in his graveyard, he doesn't have any Nekroz monsters. Also, so in this situation, definitely cannot create a pendulum scale here because he only has 1 card in hand.
Yep, Matej drew into the Qliphort Helix, activated the Scout, however. MST foiling that plan, shutting it down.
And he's just going to attack, and he's going to play the Trick Clown and use the Trick Clown effect to bring it straight back by losing 1,000 life points.
Yeah, sometimes that's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And the Helix...
Puts Helix in the other pendulum scale. That's quite strange. I guess the big reason he
doesn't want to have a card in hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be Trishula.
Yeah. And now all he needs to do is draw the right card. It's how easy this game
Yeah,
can be
no,
sometimes.
I think he has all of the cards that he needs. He can pitch Bryanak to go get...
Oh, you're talking about Deluchshan, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I was still referring to Matej.
Okay, yeah.
But
well,
you think he's not going to even see another turn?
no, well, he's probably going to see another turn, but he's, Deluchshan is in business now. He's going to be able to make a rank 4 play with a Unicorn, proceed to play a Valkyrus or something along those lines.
Right, there's the Unicorn.
There's the Kaleidoscope, which is going to use that Herald of the Arclight, ever so famous, joining us from the extra deck. just to be used as a tribute, which immediately allows him to go and search for a ritual card from his deck and add it to his hand.
Yeah, this is very, very, very important match for these two.
Yeah, it's
With
just
a,
so
with a
intense.
win, they can still stay in competition, and this is where it counts the most. And we interviewed, for example, Jörg Müller, and he said at the European Championship he started with like 2-2. He was very close to dropping, but he said, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to see how far I can go. And he ended up in second place and
Yeah.
made it to Worlds. So, yeah, you shouldn't discount any of these two guys just because they have already taken 2 losses.
Yeah, so here's a Reculeate.
The very same one that we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They got returned and flipped. Okay. But this is a powerful field by Deluchshan.
Yep. He's going to be able to make a rank 4 play here if he wants to.
Is it smarter than just sticking with Unicorn instead? Depends on what you're going for, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember which way around it is between Helix and Carrier, but I know that one of them increases the attack points of your Qliphort monsters and one of them decreases the attack points of your
Opponent's
opponent's
monsters.
monsters.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember which way around or which one Helix is, but I'm almost willing to say that.
All monsters your opponent controls
Yeah.
lose 300 attack. That's the
Okay.
Helix.
Cool. Yeah. So, still Valkyrus can't get over that stealth right now. I hope it. Okay.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, you were about to.
Whoa.
Is he gonna attack into it? No, he's gonna double check.
Whoa.
That was really close.
Yeah, he even picked it up. He was literally about to declare an attack. Yeah, he was about to shout, "Go, go, Valkyrus!" But
that would have been a gigantic misplay. That would have hurt a lot.
yes, especially it's just so intense, so important, this match. Really, really important.
All right, he's taking his sweet time instead. He's like, okay, let's just double check all the
Yeah,
cards that I
that's-
have. Yeah, that's
Take a step back.
that's a very good advice.
Just have a think about this.
Reading the cards really, really helps.
Okay, so here's a Castell. And again, there's that Black Horn of Heaven that was
Yeah,
looming.
curse that Black Horn of Heaven. Such a powerful card.
Yeah, and here we see the Trick Clown.
Yeah, again coming back, and that's a costly trick. It's a cool trick, but it's still very costly.
Yeah.
So now he's Deluchshan should be on 1/7, I think.
Yep.
So the air is getting thinner and thinner for him.
Yep. The interesting part is that he still has a Valkyrus, so he can
Right.
protect himself.
Okay, there's the attack with the stealth.
Yep, and there's the Valkyrus.
And the question, oh, and Matej did draw a solemn warning, and it's actually just in time because he still has more than 2,000 life points.
Yep.
But at the same time, he's only going to get one more surge for his Qliphort. No, he doesn't have a scout at the moment, but if he were
Yeah.
to draw another scout, then yeah, only one more surge. That's something to consider and keep in mind.
I think we just saw that he drew another clown monster.
Yeah, the hat tricker.
Yeah, so that's perfect. That's a free summon right there. He could potentially make a play with like Dagusto Emerald or something, or what would be even better would be to try and somehow get rid of that Reculeate or somehow get rid of the Helix, so at least he can destroy the stealth. So he chooses not to. He chooses to use the Valkyrus effect and then immediately pay again for that Trick Clown.
That's
So-
an interesting trick.
Yeah.
He was actually on 2/7, it appears, so now he's on 1/7.
Yep. So let's see what happens here. What card did he draw?
Another hat tricker.
Yep. So he can normal summon one of those and special summon one as well, can he?
I think there's nothing stopping him from doing that.
Nope.
So now we're talking about 4 level 4 monsters instead of 3 level 4 monsters instead of just 2.
Yeah. So let's have a look at which monsters he plays for that. He plays the number 104 Masquerade, which is the main one. He also plays the Trapeze Artist, which isn't much use right now, but we'll see where he decides to go with this.
Yeah, there we go.
There's the Hat Tricker.
One of the two, and
Yeah.
here we go.
So
for,
he's just going to make a
exceed summon.
single rank 4.
Is a single rank 4 the right term for one with 2 materials?
I don't know. I don't know I don't know what to call it when there's 3 monsters that make up a rank 4, but versus just 2 monsters making up a rank 4. Is it a level 1 rank 4? Is it rank 4 level 1? I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
There's a Diamond Direwolf, and that is a card that can get rid of pretty much everything on your opponent's side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
However,
solemn warning that.
It has to hit the field first,
I
and
think
solemn warning is stopping that.
Is he gonna pay once? Did he pay already for the?
No, now he did. Yeah, he now is on 1,300. So these two grinding it really to the next level, with Matej just being left with 1,300 and Deluchshan just being left with 1,700.
Yeah.
This is really crunch time for these two.
Yeah, but the thing is, right now, stealth is slightly higher attack points.
Yeah, that's going to be very important. And a Deluchshan...
Oh, here we go. Yeah, he completes the pendulum scale.
Oof.
So he can just drop...
everything.
Yeah, he can just drop those on the field. Yeah.
There's an attack. And Deluchshan has nothing to stop this from resolving. So that means... we're at 1-0, in fact. Getting ahead of myself. 1-0 for the Slovenian national champion, Matej Jakob.
Yeah. So let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at these side decks here. So we've got, for the Qliphort player. So we do...
Matej,
yeah, we have Pendulum Impenetrable. It was one of those cards that people thought, oh no, surely no one's going to be playing Pendulum Impenetrable when it was first seen, but now it is. It's really good. He's also playing 1 copy of Qliphort Towers in the side deck, which may be being used here. He's also got quite an interesting thing. I can't remember who it was. Someone was saying to me just now, oh, why don't Qliphort players play the Nekroz?
Mm-hmm.
Well, right here they can. So you can play 1 Commandant and 2 Nekroz to be able to fill up that field spell zone.
Right.
Because you are completely unaffected by Nekroz, and it just allows you to just impede your opponent.
Right. On the other side of the table, what is Deluchshan sporting that can be good against Qli? Royal Decree, Denkoseka.
Yep.
Those are 2 cards.
Very important card, Typhoon.
Not the Mystical Space Typhoon.
No, Typhoon, the trap card Typhoon.
Mm-hmm.
If I can recall the card, it's if your opponent has 3 or more spell and trap cards, you can play it from your hand and destroy 1 face-up card your opponent one face-up spell and trap card your opponent controls.
So basically, target 1 face-up spell trap card and destroy it.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, that's the actual trap effect. But you can play it directly from your hand if your opponent controls
2 or more spell trap cards, and you control none.
Yeah. So the important part about this is that you can play it. You can chain it to Wavering Eyes to destroy your opponent's scout. Very important. Or if they like set some cards first and then play Scout, you can just straight away play Typhoon from your hand, which is really good. And even just generally, if you go first, you can set it.
Right.
So
Then
let's
we
look.
see
We can see his hand right here is looking at his side deck. We might be able to see what he puts face down.
Yeah, that's.
I really wanted him to separate those cards out so we could see. but I guess not.
But they are not playing for us to do us a favor. They are, of course, playing for glory and prizes.
Yep.
So
he seems to be siding out the clowns.
That's interesting. I think we've never seen that this weekend.
No. Well, he sided out a couple of the clowns. I couldn't see which ones. It may have been the Trick Clowns. Oh no, he sided out 2 of the same. 2 damage jugglers, I'm going to say. Maybe. I don't know. But it definitely was 2 clowns. Okay, so what else?
I think he was siding out the Maxis.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah,
it's a good move.
Like
it's a good move to make because Qliphort's only usually special summon that once per turn, which is the
very
summon.
very big summon. Yeah, but still just 1 card that you draw for that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see how this rolls out. So the Qliphort player, they have Pendulum Impenetrables, Qliphort Towers, Wavering Eyes, Gravekeeper's Command, and Nekroz. All these cards, good cards to go in. 2 Effect Veils as well. A lot of those cards could go in. Same for the Nekroz player. You could put a lot of the side deck cards in. He's got a Mystical Space Typhoon, a couple of Royal Decrees, a couple of Denko Sekkers, a couple of Typhoons.
And that's is it that people are building a side deck specifically just to combat one deck? It's more that they are using cards that are good against a couple of different decks, and they just so happen like a large majority of them are really good against Qliphort.
Well, yeah, Qliphort suffer against Decree and Denko Sekker. Those are just generically really good.
Yeah.
Typhoon is specifically known for being used against floodgate decks.
Yep.
In quotes there, floodgate decks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. So, and again, Mystical Space Typhoon is just, a lot of people use that against all of the decks that have
Yep.
a heavy trap lineup, similar to the Royal Decree and the Denko setup. So yeah, it's just generally good cards that are good against the heavier trap setup decks.
Yeah, you can also say it's generally speaking good cards that are good against good decks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's definitely a correct statement.
Yeah.
Not adding that much though.
Yeah.
Okay, we see
So we see
the Royal Decree.
Yeah,
that's
Deluchshan has opened the nuts, if I had to use a slang term. There it's
yeah, if somebody forces you to.
yeah. So we have one Manju, and he has Decree as well, which is a lot of good cards. It's only 2, but that's enough to beat a Qliphort deck hands down, as long as he can't respond to it.
All right. Here's
So
a pot
he
of duality
plays
for the Necro Valley. He did side into it and he did
Yep.
draw into it. So here we go. This is Deluchshan, Kridaran's hand. Clausulus Mirror, Manchu, Royal Decree, Raigeki.
I think Deluchshan might have to take that risk of setting Decree and then waiting a turn. But
He might not be having that time.
No, definitely not.
Okay. This is Matej's opening with the Scout, with the Pot of Duality. He's going to lose one turn. Wavering Eyes, Necro Valley. All of these.
So just for you guys just tuning in now, this is the second game. Our app's not currently showing that.
Right.
But we'll get that corrected as soon as possible. So we see here Matej, Jakob going straight in with the Necro Valley and not even risking a potential Denko Sekker attack here. He's flipping up lose one turn straight away. So here's
And
Manju.
directly as well.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's some dangerous trap cards right there. But there's not a lot that Deluchshan can do about this.
No, not in this turn anyway. I mean,
Nope.
he can set the Royal Decree, but he's got to wait for one turn. Right, there's a Nekroz Kaleidoscope
Yep.
for Deluchshan.
Yeah. He doesn't have a monster to summon with that Nekroz Kaleidoscope right now, though. So he's maybe going to have to wait a turn and hopefully get this Royal Decree on the go.
Interestingly enough, he's very often today he's been searching for cards that he couldn't use immediately, but rather like one turn later.
Yeah.
He's got a Raigeki, so that was pretty good against Qli. We've seen that before today.
Yeah.
Manju and Raigeki in hand. Normally not a bad hand,
No.
especially after the start, but if you don't even have the time to use them, not so great.
Yeah, so here's the key part. Are we going to be able to see Deluchshan have a second turn here? If he does, then he's got so much potential.
Right.
So much potential. But if not, then, yeah, it's going to be over really quickly.
Let's see what Matej has. He's got the carrier in hand, and that's pretty much it for the time being.
Yeah, the big thing here, though, is the fact that Matej has Wavering Eyes set. So he's going to be able to go Scout, get a guy, Wavering Eyes, and just off he goes. Get a second Scout. Go searching again.
All right. There's the carrier coming down.
Yep. So let's see if he is indeed playing towers, he could get it out here. But we'll see.
We didn't see the towers. It's not on the deck list. It's in the side deck.
Yep, just one copy.
I don't know. Would he be siding into the towers?
It's possible because
You can search for them, so...
yeah, and there's only one copy of Decisive Armor in Deluchshan's deck list, and if he decided to side that out for some of these other more useful cards against Qliphort that aren't the Turbo Towers build, then, you know, he may just get caught out here.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, so we see here, lose one turn, massively impacting. Ever since it came out, it's just skill drain on legs, basically. You can switch the monster to defense position so it can't even attack.
Yeah.
When it's special summoned.
And also you don't have to pay 1,000 life points, which is a big deal.
That's pretty cheap, yeah.
Yeah, very often. It only works with special summoned monsters.
Yeah.
But these days, more often than not, monsters are getting special summoned.
Yeah.
Okay, is that the end of the turn for Matej? Looks a little like he just passed. I'm not sure about
We'll
that.
see.
But why would he not attack?
Yeah, surely not.
Yeah.
There's so much more to be done. So much more.
Okay, there we go. Now you guys also see that Matej won the first game.
There we go. So here's the so much more to be done.
Yep. That is the wavering eyes.
I don't know why. Oh, why was Helix switched to defense position? I wonder.
Do you think it was pendulum summoned?
I don't know. That would kind of be silly.
I mean, but yeah.
That's interesting.
All right, so 500 burn damage.
We'll see.
Thanks to Wavering Eyes, and Matej is going to search for yet another card, which is going to be another Scout, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious choice. Unless he makes some crazy next level play that I have no idea about. That probably Scout's going to be the best option. Because that allows you to immediately complete your Pendulum Scale again by being able to pay 800 life points and go searching.
Right. Okay, time has been called in the main event, so in the rest of the field, so to speak. I think we started a little bit later than the other guys.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like this took that long, to be honest.
No, but I think it has. It's been going on for quite a while.
We've had that today, like 2 or 3 times, in fact, where I was actually surprised when time was called. I was like, oh, really? Was that already 40 minutes? But sometimes when these games are going back and forth and both players are in these situations where they can go big and they have to think about it really hard,
Yeah.
the time is actually flashing by.
Yeah, it's really strange. So just after our last feature match, I went into the main stage and had to sit down and looked at my watch.
So he did not search for Scout. He instead searched for Qliphort Stealth. And now he's returning.
Okay, so yeah, he's making that choice to try and snipe the Royal Decree by the looks of it.
Do you agree with that play instead of going for the Scout?
Yeah, but it's a great read. If that's what he was doing, that's a great read. But unfortunately, he missed wildly on that one.
Yeah. And now he's out of Pendulum Summoning.
I did wonder. I wondered what those cards were that Deluchshan was playing. It looked like he was playing Exceed Monsters when he was looking through his deck before. And it's actually the Platinum Rare reinforcements of the armies.
All right. But suddenly this looks a lot better for Deluchshan.
But yeah, well, as soon as you manage to lock down that back row...
Yeah, but just a second ago it seemed like Matej could just continue to get another Scout, continue searching, and grind out this game, and he instead went for a different approach.
Yeah, I think he realized that he had to take that approach to getting rid of that Royal Decree.
Huh. But now he's getting the short end handed to him of the stick.
Yeah.
And I think Deluchshan can freely reign supreme here now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only redeeming factor here is that Matej has no cards in his hand to be hit by Trishula. It's quite a major factor here. Otherwise, it would be good night Qliphorts.
Yeah.
So let's see. So as soon as I've played Nekroz for quite a while, when it was the couple of past few months, And honestly, that moment where your Royal Decree resolves in the end phase and you've got all these options, it feels so damn good.
Yeah.
So he's sat there thinking right now, well, all you do is worry about that Royal Decree going off, and then the moment that it actually resolves, the ideas just flood through your mind of the different branches you can take along this pathway.
Yeah.
It's really great.
All right, there we see Nekroz of Unicore hitting play, and still there's the Raigeki waiting in his hand. He goes for a Bryanak.
So 64 is not out of the question.
Yeah, but so far he's taking his sweet time.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's a very important game. Just we're getting pretty close to time here.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't think that a draw is helping these two guys.
No, it would. I think with the tiebreaker system, a draw here would potentially knock them both out of contention.
Yeah. It's very interesting. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't want to draw, like, ever.
No.
Sometimes it is. Also, it's not allowed, which is important to note. It's something that should only happen by accident, which we should point out again. But it really doesn't get you really anywhere. Very often it feels like a loss for both players.
Yeah, it's worth less points overall than a loss, but only by 1.
Yeah, and it's not the first time that I've seen, that I would see one of the players, if this were to happen, giving up and saying, if we draw, we're both out. I'm just gonna scoop, basically. You get the win, and you still have a shot at making it, which is a very fair gesture, especially if you're like, I'm not feeling so well this weekend. I want to go to the beach. Yeah, I just wanted to say something else before I come up with that, but I was totally thinking that too. Yeah. All right. So here's a Nekroz mirror being added to the hand. And suddenly he went from 1 card in hand up to 4 cards in hand. Yeah. This is exactly what the deck is supposed to do.
Yeah, so he's got a pretty decent play here. He can play Bryanak, discard that, go get a Shurit, and then use both of the cycle and the Nekroz mirror because he can. Oh, okay. So does he already have Shurit?
He's doesn't look like it from the
okay.
looks of it.
I was expecting him to get Shurit so that he can use that as a tribute.
Instead, he's going for the mirror.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I was thinking because he could summon both, but yeah,
and that's it.
So that's it.
That's 1-1. Both guys have one game each, and that means we need a deciding third duel with just very, very little time left in the round.
Yeah.
And the winner of this mini duel, so to speak, because it's only going to be like a couple turns, is going to advance to day 2, while the loser, he might still make it, sneak into day 2, but he's very, very likely not going to make the cut. Because tomorrow, today, we're going to cut to the top 256 players, and then tomorrow we're going to play 3 more rounds, and then we're going to cut to the top 32.
Yeah.
Is the information that I got from our scorekeepers.
Yeah, so it's something like it's not always the top 256. If there's a lot of draws, it's like a certain amount of points. It's like 18 points or 256.
Right.
So we just see the players side decking here. We should try and get a bit of information on how much time exactly is left.
Yeah.
If that's possible.
But now with the door being closed, that's a lot harder than than before. With them having the advantage of not hearing us. Sometimes there's a disadvantage, of course. And us not really having any communication with the other room.
Yeah. We're in our own little secret room. Secret village of the coverage casters. That's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good card. Coverage town.
Okay, for one last time you see our helpful volunteers in the background. That's Marco on the left and Ryan on the right. Ryan, who is a little bit like Barry Allen, he's faster than the speed of light when his job is getting the players, for example. Okay, and I just had a question sent to our scorekeepers. If you end up on 256th place today, so if you're like just sneaking in and you win all 3 rounds tomorrow, can you even make it to the top 32? And our scorekeeper says there is a chance, even though it's like a little bit theoretical. It's some people have to lose, so your tiebreaker is going to carry you there, and so on. It's not super likely, but it can happen, so that's fine. Okay, who's going to go first in the last game?
The Nekroz player.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't. He
Matej
doesn't
is
want to have the.
forcing-
Yeah, he doesn't want to have the. Oh, Matej is forcing him to go first
Yeah.
because he wants to have the last attack, I guess. Oh, actually, we're not in timeout yet.
No, I think he just wanted 6 cards.
Right. Normally, you want to be able to resolve a scout before your opponent can do anything about it.
Yeah, that is true.
But with 6 cards, there's a higher chance that you draw into a scout. Well, let's see if this is the right choice. Deluchshan does not have the all-important
Okay.
mystical space typhoon. And
So the legend that is Ryan
Yeah.
has just came and told us that it's now time on the round.
all right. So in that sense, Matej's decision is a lot better, in my opinion, that he has the last attack.
Yeah. But immediately, Kridaran goes straight into defensive mode and just gets that Valkyris. So we're going to have to see exactly what he decides to do here.
All right. So he's only got a unicorn on the field. And how strong is that going to be? Does he need anything else?
I think for now, he just wanted to be able to use the effect of Great Sorcerer. That's why he summoned the Unicorn in that particular way. When Great Sorcerer is tributed, you get to go get a Spellcaster monster, Nekroz monster, from your deck, which in this case was the Valkyris.
All right. That's the key card in overtime, basically.
Yeah. So let me just have a quick analyze of Deluchshan's hand here. I think that he has enough resources here to just calculate this up in my head. So he has 1 Valkyris for this turn, and then Bryanak makes another Valkyris for the turn afterwards. So that's 2 turns of time. So he needs to have 1 more turn worth of Valkyries to kind of break even here.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see what happens here. So I think that Matej, like, the key part of this is that he can flush his hand of all the cards.
Yeah.
That's the real key part. If I remember correctly, Helix and Carrier have at least one of them have the correct pendulum scale to work with a scout. Yeah, there we go. So Carrier is the correct one. So he's just rereading the Great Sorcerer of the Nekroz.
And interestingly enough, Matej does have a good hand under normal circumstances. With a Recreate, with a Vanity's Emptiness, those are 2 of the cards that can stop your opponent from doing most of their shenanigans.
Yeah. In this case, though, he's kind of stuck on the... So he's decided to pay with Scout. Now, this is huge.
Yeah.
He's now losing. As it stands, he will lose in 5 turns' time.
Yeah. I mean, that's at first that sounds like a bold prediction, but if you've ever seen an extra time match with Nekroz, you know exactly what's happening there.
Yeah, exactly. Like it sounds like a kind of a bold blanket statement here, but he's on less life points. It sounds obvious, but he's on less life points in time.
Yeah, that's something.
It's not that many
situation
turns.
you never want to find yourself in.
No,
And,
not at all.
But at least I hope there's a chance that he sided out of Solemn Warning, for example.
Yeah, well, at this point, it doesn't, like, it super doesn't matter about any other card in his deck. He has to just put some damage on the board.
Yeah. And
Matej really takes a risk here. I mean, Qliphort's in time, risky as it is, because of the fact that they have to play with a card that is just paying life points all the time.
okay, is he gonna go with the Carrier hitting play? Oh no, that's Monolith.
Yeah. So,
He's going for a different play.
yeah, well, he's going to Pendulum Summon, and then he's going to tribute one of those to try and bounce back the Unicorn. So he's going to tribute Carrier to bounce back the Unicorn, most likely. Yeah, so that targets that, and then Deluchshan just puts the Unicorn back and goes, hold on just a second. Because he does have a Nekroz of Trishula.
Yeah,
But,
he
yeah, it
doesn't
wasn't a
want-
great move to play that.
Yeah,
I don't know why I mentioned it. So,
it's an option.
yeah.
Sometimes you want to consider them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and still, there's the
So
Valkyrus.
this is so important. So Valkyrus's effect now. This is great. We've not actually seen this combo yet. This is a fantastic combo. So when the Great Sorcerer is banished, you get to send a Nekroz monster from your deck to the graveyard.
He's going for
He
sure.
seems to have gone for Shurit. Which, okay, that's fine. But that allows you to fill up your graveyard. So usually people would send Exa, and then you can use Exa's effect. But in this case, he's got a Nekroz Mirror, and he's going to be able to use that with the Shurit that he's just sent to the graveyard. I don't know why he didn't get Exa, but that's okay. We can get past things like that. We can continue to see.
Let's hope
where
he
this
can
goes.
get past that.
Yeah. So that's the usual combo. Whether he like drew it or something or what, I don't know.
Is there a chance he sided out of it?
Potentially.
Because he only wants to like play the life card, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in the first game, clocking up his hand at one point.
Yeah. So he's gonna go get a Nekroz Kaleidoscope. Now this is quite interesting. He's gone to get Kaleidoscope. Now we will see where he goes from here. Now, his opponent does have Recreate and Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah, it's like a double
whammy.
double Royal Flash, yeah.
So, as far as this situation's concerned right now, it's not looking great.
But he's got to be able to just hang in there with
Yeah.
the Valkyrus.
Yeah, oh, definitely. He can do that. So, he can just summon... So, he sets a Nekroz Mirror. It's all very interesting. All very interesting, this this line of plays. He's just pointing over those back rows and going, "Can you just pick those up, please?"
Okay, there's a Kaleidoscope.
I don't know why he set Mirror first, but it's okay. Okay, so that's great. That's fodder for the Valkyrus that he's going to be going and getting with that Manju.
How many Nekroz monsters or cards does he have in the graveyard that he needs for Valkyrus to function?
He has to have one, at least.
Yeah, I know, but so far he's...
how many does he have right now?
Two.
Well,
The
two,
Shurit.
but neither of those you want to be
Yeah.
using. So I think the next move here is probably to play a Manju, which is going to get Recreated. Nope.
No touchy decky for you.
Kaleidoscope. Nope. Manju. Nope.
Yeah, it's one of those one-sided games where somebody's just saying, wait a minute.
So let's see the Bryanak being discarded here. It's like, yeah, it has to happen.
Yeah, there's not much else you can do.
Yeah, he's going to throw a Valkyrus out on the board. There we go.
He's left with a,
Sneaks out.
it's left with a Trishula and a Unicorn in the hand.
That's enough. That's enough turns. Mm-hmm. Interesting. It's a good move to leave Unicorn in the graveyard as opposed to the Bryanak, because if you draw an answer, then you can use Bryanak to get whatever you want, whereas Unicorn's only as powerful as your graveyard.
Yeah.
So in this particular situation, it is better to have a Bryanak.
And that must be super frustrating for Matej, because he does have all the answers. He does have a Scout, he does have a Vanity's Emptiness, he does have a Recreate, and still, at the end of the day, he's not going to deal any damage thanks to Valkyrus.
Yeah, well, in this situation, I'm thinking that he should just pay for Scout. No, because pay for Scout. No, I'm again. He can't. He needs to get rid of his own Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah.
He's actually locked himself down. His only real out to these multiple Valkyruses is to play the Qliphort Towers.
Right.
Because you can't negate.
We don't even know if he sided into those.
No. But yeah, he's completely locked himself down here. I've really no idea what his plans are for this, unless he like tributes one of the helixes to destroy his own Vanity's Emptiness or something like super crazy. So he's tributing both of those for a stealth. Helix. He's going to destroy this. And what else? Yeah, he simply can't respond, so that's getting destroyed.
You know, the Vanity's Emptiness, does it say if a card leaves the field or if a card ends up in the graveyard?
No, it's if the owner of Vanity's Emptiness... so he's actually returning it to his hand with stealth.
Ah, okay.
So he destroys the set Nekroz mirror and returns the Vanity's Emptiness to hand. That's a fantastic move.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what we could come up with here.
Yep. So here we go. He's threatening the board here.
That's one way to put it. Just a little bit, yeah.
But he's going to attack and
there's a Valkyrus. Yeah,
like,
it's really interesting.
It's like I don't know what's going through his head. Because he's just going to discard Bryanak to get another Valkyrus, and then that's it.
Yeah, it seems like real cute, but at the end of the day, it's not going to do enough.
No. And I don't think there's any cards in his deck that can avoid a Valkyrus.
Right. You need something like a Book of Moon, for example, that can turn the target face down.
Yeah.
When you're attacking,
and displace the target somehow. Yeah,
there's nothing there, right? No, it doesn't look like it.
It's actually quite funny. He's got a Denko Seeker. So he could very happily normal summon that Denko Seeker and just be like, so are you going to play Emptiness or what? Because if he overlays into an Exciton Knight, then bad things are going to happen for Matej. Really bad things. So let's see where he goes with this. So that's Denko Seeker. Recreate will negate Denko Seeker. But still, is the summon of Denko Seeker okay? Can we enter an open game state?
Yeah, I mean, the Vanity's Emptiness is not going to get flipped.
No, we're still in a closed game state apparently. Yep, there we go. I was just thinking like, so is an open game state okay? I guess not.
All right.
Yep, so discard Bryanak, go and get a Valkyrus.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward plan.
That's it.
It's not that hard.
No. I really want like some kind of crazy thing to happen in this last turn.
Yeah,
but it's been a real shame.
It's got to be a little bit anticlimactic here.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like this is amazing. He's getting the Valkyrus, is doing exactly what he needs to do to close this match out. Yeah. Deluchshan is absolutely just in control of this game here. He has absolutely
the weird thing
nothing
is like
else to be done.
If this game would last like 1 or 2 more turns, that is not the case. He might be like losing instantly. I mean, he could still return it from the graveyard with a Unicorn or something.
But he runs out eventually.
Yeah, exactly. If the game just continues for like 1 or 2 more turns, there is nothing he can do because obviously Matej has.
Oh, here we go. He's just paid for scout and got towers.
Oh.
Okay.
He did slide into the towers. That's important to know.
We're in business. We're in business right now.
All of a sudden.
Here we go. Bounce both of those. Swing for game. Anyone? Yeah, I think that's it.
This must be the worst feeling in the world.
Yep.
When you're like, I got this under control. I just need 3 Valkyries, and you can tell this is nervousness from Deluchshan and Kridaran.
Let's have a read of this. I don't know what's going on.
There was no special summon there.
That's it. He's looking like he's going to try and play Valkyrus.
Let's look at the towers again, but yeah,
wow.
The towers did make all the difference. Coming in from the side deck.
He waited until the last
moment. Yeah, but that's perfect strategy. Excellent strategy.
Yeah.
Excellent strategy from Matej. Jakob, who was basically making his opponent feel secure.
That was the absolute pinnacle of.
Yeah. At one point you mentioned
giving him hope. He was giving him hope.
Just so he can crush it.
He was spoon feeding hope to his opponent. Okay, he was spoon feeding him,
Yeah.
and suddenly he just said, "No more for you,"
Yeah.
and summoned that
This
towers.
is gonna be it. Wow, that was a. And at some point you were like, "Oh, I'm afraid this game is over. There's like nothing else we can do."
Because we kept saying, "Where's towers?" Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have towers. Where's the
and
towers?
suddenly the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Matej Jakob finds the towers, or well, searches for the towers, so not much
Yeah.
searching going on there. And that is it. That is the one card that can make the difference.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a fitting end to a great day one of the YCS Championship Rimini. We have had amazing matches today. In case you're just tuning in, we do have the written coverage alongside of this video coverage. There's going to be a link below the Twitch chat where you can link. You can click on it and then you end up on the written coverage. We got the statistics there that we told you guys about earlier, like the country breakdown, the deck breakdown for the event.
Yep.
And then of course there's another link on there which goes to YouTube. And on YouTube we have already uploaded almost everything that we did today. I think up until round 6 everything is online. So if you're just tuning in and you want to see how in the first round a Battery Man OTK deck wins against the reigning Italian national champion, that's something to go watch. And it doesn't take very long, it's still quite entertaining.
Yeah.
If you want to see Paul Cooper with a Magical Explosion deck try his luck and see how far he can go with that, watch the feature match for round 2. In round 3 we had Umut Serin from Germany going up against Federico Pastore from Italy, both with Shadow Clowns.
Yep.
That was an interesting match.
That was a very, very long, very skilled,
very
skilled match.
And this is almost where we're losing it. Round 4 was Peter Gross from Austria with a Cosmo deck versus Michelangelo Moili from Italy, also playing Shadow Clowns like the two guys in the round before. That match was interesting because Peter Gross was bringing Cosmo to the table, introducing us to this new deck. And we have seen my personal highlight of the day, where you could see what a good side deck could do for you in a game 3.
Yeah.
And we know for a fact that his opponent was not feeling very well after that.
Yeah.
If you want to see how 3 cards from the side deck can deal with 5 cards in hand, that is feature match number round 4 for you.
Yeah.
Round 5 we saw Zeno Peters from Belgium playing Infernoids versus Luca Valenzano from Italy with Qliphort Turbo Towers. Also very interesting.
Yep, the Infernoids really brought home the show. Yeah,
normally it's like summon Upper Qliphort Towers, the card that we just saw. Game over.
Yep.
What we just saw. And in round 5 we saw that this is not always the case because Infernoids do have a number of options to deal with that.
Yep.
And one of them coming from the extra deck, so that might be a surprise for you.
Yep.
You can learn something there. Round 6 was our interesting Marcelo Barberi, I think, going up against. I think we're missing Burning Abyss.
There was Federico Zappini versus.
Oh, that was round 6. Yes.
Yeah, round 6 was Federico Zappini versus.
There was Nekroz with Federico going up against something else, and he was losing that. So as you can tell, it's very hard for us to keep track because we've seen a lot of exciting matches today.
There's been so many. There's been ups and downs. Absolutely everything you could want. So much variety.
Exactly, variety is the key. We have a very wide open field. We've seen so many different decks, and we're going to take a very short pause. I think that's the last time we see you on the stream today.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you, as always, Luke.
Yeah.
Great job. Thank you for running us through all the key plays. Then we're gonna take a very short pause now, and then we're gonna do our last interview for the day. We have a revolutionary idea for this stream. For the first time ever, we're gonna have post-game interviews. That's what Dom suggested yesterday. So there you go. That's what we're gonna do. And with that, we're gonna take our short break here.